Time now for the KSL In-Depth. Schools in Herriman started locking their doors this afternoon as administrators heard from police about an ongoing search for a shooting suspect. They were looking for the guy suspected of firing at officers on Saturday before breaking into a Riverton home and shooting the owner. Well, we sent our reporter Paul Nelson to Blackridge Elementary School to see how the students and staff were handling the situation. Paul's joining us live now. So was this panic or was this an orderly event, Paul?
It was concerning for the parents, but for the kids, apparently it was not that big of a deal. There were several schools that were affected by this. For example, Blackridge was just one school. Foothills Elementary was another school. We also got word that Fort Herriman Middle School was put on lockdown, but school officials, I spoke with the principal here, says that they have trained for this kind of thing, for lockout. And what happens is that apparently they make the announcement, they tell everybody turn off the lights and just stay inside. So the kids didn't exactly know what was happening outside, and police are saying that's probably the best thing for them.
Paul, by the way, we're showing video from Herriman on the KSL Newsradio app, sponsored by Any Hour Services. Paul, you mentioned the parents. Was it chaos outside the school when they heard about this?
No, also they were picking them up at a relatively calm manner. However, they did have maybe one other person kind of watching to make sure that everybody was doing it smoothly. Kids seemed to be all smiles. The parents, their concern was what's happening. All they were told was that it was put on lockout. And as far as like what was happening inside, that's all they could think about. Are our kids okay? Why is this locked out in the first place? But as far as picking them up, it seemed like things were running quite smoothly when we were here, and it looked like business as usual, as we said.
Yeah, while the police activity was going on, there were scant few details from police. We only learned later that they were picking up 3 suspects related to the shooting over the weekend. You were not clued in when you arrived at the elementary school this afternoon, right? You only found out later.
Yeah, matter of fact, the principal says he was not told why. What happens, though, is that they were just told by Unified Police, put on lockout. And they did. As far as the exact details of what specifically or who specifically they're looking for, district officials and even the principal said they were never given that information. But again, as long as their job was just to keep the kids calm, and they seem to do that quite effectively.
Safety first, details later. Paul, what's it like at Blackridge right now? Things calmed down?
Right. Very much so, yes. I mean, right now, it looks like as if there's just a few faculty that are still here. It looks like all of whatever kind of concern that was happening before was gone away. And I mentioned this previously, but officers were kind of surveilling the area as the kids were being picked up by their parents just to make sure that everything was okay. In fact, one of them said, maybe don't go scare people by asking them what happened inside the school. And so it's one of those things where they wanted to keep everybody calm as well. So it looked like everything was moving along effectively.
Okay, thanks so much. Paul Nelson is live at Blackridge Elementary School in Herriman.